Virgo, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late February 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and see what's going on for the lovely Virgo collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous, my friends. Let's shuffle it up one time, see what we got for you. Talk to me, my gods. What's up with Virgo late February? And yeah, we're just going to look at this first card real quick, then we'll get into the full tarot reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going. What's up with Virgo, please, my guys? Talk to me. Let's get it popping real quick. And you've had some interesting readings the past few weeks, and we have the helping hand showing up for you. And I do like this card. It's very spiritual. I mean, there could be something in regards to assistance, whether you wanting to help someone or someone needing yours. We'll peel back the layers on this because that's an intriguing energy. Before we do, though, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the February subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Have a look at this card. It's beautiful in my opinion. So you see that woman, it looks like she's resting or sleeping. There's various hands surrounding her. So I always first think of spiritual protection. There might be somebody or a group of individuals, your spirit team, on the other side assisting you with something, which is good. Now, the fact that this individual is sleeping, it could be focusing on your sleep states. Hopefully you haven't been having issues sleeping, little insomnia, trouble staying asleep, stuff like that. But the last thing I always link with this card is assistance, like I said. So whether it's you receiving assistance from spirit or you wanting somebody else's help or needing it, this could even be somebody approaching you for assistance too. So take that for what it's worth. We're going to get into tarot now. And I always say that first card doesn't make or break the reading, so let's just keep it moving. Let's see what tarot has for you. Let's get these first three out. Let's shuffle it up one time, my gods. What do we got going? So, like I was saying, you've had a few really interesting energies and readings the last few weeks. Last week's reading was titled A Change of Heart. So whether that was you changing your feelings, that was a big vibe I was picking up in last week's reading, is that emotions and feelings were very malleable. So there could have been a lot of things you were changing your perspective on, changing your view, changing your feelings. And of course, it could have been someone else you're linked to, changing their heart in some way. But let's see what we have for you this week. As I always say, you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone, so only take it how it hits for you. Let's get you three. We could be seeing your energy or someone you're linked to, right? There's lots of Virgos out there going through lots of different things. Okay, interesting. So we have two cards popping out together. We got the Knight of Cups, our good friend. That's a pretty good way to start off a reading, I would say. It's an action card. It's very emotional, so kind of like what last week's reading was saying. We have the Eight of Pentacles here, so big money focus, like career, finances, things like that. Let's just get these cards lined up here. Okay, let's get one more out here for you. I'm liking how this energy is feeling thus far. Let's get one more. Thank you. Okay, yeah, we have the King of Wands showing up here. So you have double court cards here, Virgo, which is always intriguing to me because it could be multiple people showing up here in your energy. We're just going to have to talk about it. But let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into the juicier intuitive messages. So at first glance, when I'm looking down at this spread, obviously we have an interesting elemental mix happening. We have water, we have earth, we have fire going on here. Notice the two people sandwiching this reading. So this could represent people in your life or just powerful themes and archetypes, but it's interesting how it plays. Position number one, we have the Knight of Cups. Traditionally, this is seen as a card of romance and a card of emotion. Emotional offers, pardon me, I almost said emotional officers. But when we get this Knight of Cups, it is a smooth talking, silky, smooth, Prince Charming type of energy and individual. So for some of you, love can be on the mind, right? Like you might be in that mode. Something could be coming in that realm. But also with this night, it's about forward progress, movement, and action. So if you're not watching this for love, this is things moving forward in a positive way. Now, we do have to see how it turns out when we get to the clarifier. And for some of you, it could just represent a water sign in your life. It could be as simple as that. But moving to the center, we have different areas of life showing up because we have the emotional realm, but now we're going into the pentacles, right? With the Eight of Pentacles, it's one of my favorite cards in the whole entire tarot deck. It is a card of hard work and diligence. It's a craftsmanship, artisanal type of energy. You might be very focused and diligent on working with something. Real big focus on the pentacles, right? Work and career. So this could be somebody, it could be you, right? It could be issues in regards to these things as well, but I like the Eight of Pentacles. It's somebody who is wanting to work on something, right? Hone something, hone a craft. To me, it's a really powerful and positive energy. So we're just going to put it there, and we'll see how it plays out when we clarify that as well. But moving to the back end, this might be a cornerstone of this reading. We have the King of Wands, okay? It might be a fire sign, so Aries, Leo, Sag showing up here. We already have half the damn zodiac out here in the mix. But the King of Wands, I always say kings represent control of their respective suit. Wands is more about that inner passion, your drive, your determination. This is an entrepreneurial energy. So you might be controlling your focus. This could be spirit saying like, hey, focus your energy on the right things, or refocus your energy on something when we get this King of Wands. It's very good, especially next to a card like the Eight of Pentacles, that a lot of you could be having nice big influxes of money or prosperity coming in. Now could be a very good time for like side hustles, starting your own business, work from home type of stuff when we have him next to Eight of Pentacles. And thus far, the energy is looking okay, Virgo. But once again, you could be having issues with a fire sign or a water sign. It all really depends. So we want to go deeper on all this. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, so we're going to shuffle it up one more time, see what's going on with Virgo. My guides and spirit team. We'll see if more elemental themes start popping up. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Starting on that Prince Charming, Knight of Cups. And if you're a reader yourself or you're just trying to learn, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Virgo, you can drop it down in the comments. I don't mind. Okay, Knight of Cups time. Is that Knight of Cups here, please? Thank you. Okay, we have the World. I feel like this is good. Now, usually the World can represent some sort of closing or ending of a cycle. I feel like somebody coming to grips and coming to peace about something as well. So if there's things that have been bugging you recently, like you really might come to grips with it. All right, if you've been through some endings recently or cycles closing, now could be a good time for you to attain peace, like finally at peace with something, which is nice. Now, the World to me can represent all sorts of things. This is a big karmic card. So when we see it under the Knight of Cups, this could be a karmic connection showing up, like absolutely, whether it's romantic or friendship. The World underneath this Knight of Cups is like, all right, there was some sort of karmic lesson that was learned from this individual being in your life, but there is some sort of peace here, which feels good, especially if you've been through endings. Now, if we get some other cards that are indicative of cycles closing and endings, that's going to play a big theme in this spread. But the main things I'm feeling here is somebody coming to peace with something, like they're emotionally sturdy and stable with this close, with this ending. Or like I said, it feels good to me. It could be a karmic situation, a karmic connection that you've either recently been through or was even in the past. It all depends. But we're going to move over to the Eight of Pentacles. I don't feel like the World is bad here. Sometimes it could talk about things just ending, right? But let's see what's up with that Eight of Pentacles. You might be extra focused on the world today, too, like world events, things of that sort. Knight of Wands. Oh, yeah, this is somebody really trying to get a grip on something or keep things under control. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse underneath this Eight of Pentacles. This is someone who has decided, like, I'm not wasting my time or energy anymore. Like, that's it. That's done. I'm not going to waste my focus. I'm not going to waste my energy. I'm going to work towards what's important here. Now, for a portion of you, yeah, there might be issues with a fire sign here, especially with the Knight of Wands in reverse. This could represent an individual that is like too spontaneous or has a very hot temper. So you might have some hotheads in your workplace or with something attached to money. But when I see it in reverse underneath this Eight of Pentacles, this is somebody getting things under control, like not wasting time, not wasting energy. So some of you could be in that space. If you are not, this could be Spirit saying like, listen, do not waste your time any longer. Don't waste your emotional energy. Don't waste your creative energy. None of that. All right. Focus on working towards your goals, what you want to do. So we're going to move over to that King of Wands because it's interesting. Lots of court cards here. All right. So we're just going to put that down. Let's get over to that King of Wands. Then we'll do like a recap before we get to the shadow card. Very interesting reading this week. Especially like with the coming to peace with something, possible karmic connections as well. Let's see what's going on. Ooh, that card just flopped out of my hands. What are you doing, my deck? It's like exploding on me. It really wants to talk to you. Let's shuffle it up. What's going on that King of Wands? Why is that King of Wands here? Please. So many court cards. So you might be very popular in this time. Like there might be a lot of energies affecting you. Okay, we do have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse here. Okay, and I do get the energy of somebody possibly like going with the flow, rolling with the punches. This could be Spirit asking you to do that. Or maybe that's a way you've been recently. Like, all right, if something doesn't go according to plan, if something doesn't go right, that's okay. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse is still positive to me, but I also have to mention it could represent the close of a cycle as well. So a lot of you could be in a time of massive change or massive transformation here, which I've been seeing in some other signs. The Wheel of Fortune in reverse is still positive to me though, but don't think that the future road ahead of you is just going to be all silky smooth and rainbows and roses. There are going to be speed bumps, okay? Even if you're on a good path, even if you're on a good direction, there are going to be those troubling times or those difficulties. And that's okay. I get the energy of somebody rolling with the punches, okay? And I know a lot of Virgos, they're usually very good with that. They usually have plan A, B, C, D, and E. So I don't see that being an issue for you. But the wheel in reverse is still that Jupiter type of energy, that good luck charm type of vibe. So I really like it under this King of Wands, okay? So just keep focusing on what your mission is, what your path is. And I feel like that's really good. But I'm seeing the transformation and possible endings here with like these two cards on the end. So let's go through and do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow card. I'll try to tie this all together because for a lot of you, it could be different people, different situations. But in position number one, we have the Knight of Cups with the World in the upright. Like I said several times, to me, this felt like somebody finally coming to peace with something, coming to grips with something. So if you've been hurt recently, now is an amazing time for healing or to accept something, okay? Accept it for what it is. It is what it is, right? Another vibe I was getting here, yeah, maybe you do have a big interest on world events and what's going on in the world today. Don't feed too much of your emotion into that. But a big thing here was a possible karmic connection showing up in this reading. Someone that has or did come into your life to teach you some sort of lesson. Now, moving forward through the reading, we have the Eight of Pentacles with the Knight of Wands in reverse. Hopefully you're not having issues at work or with the fire sign, spontaneous. But a big vibe here was like, I'm no longer wasting my time. I'm no longer wasting my energy. I'm going to stay focused on my mission, on my work, on what I'm doing. No more of this wasting. Moving to the back end, we have the King of Wands with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So we do have the cycles closing, showing up here, which is totally fine. And I felt like this is more of an energy of somebody rolling with the punches, knowing that life has a lot of ups and downs, but they roll with it good, having backup plans and just keeping it moving. This feels good. It feels like somebody moving in a positive direction, and I like this overall, especially with the wheel, because that's a good luck charm, right? But let's get into the shadow card. Let's see what's in the shadows for Virgo. I feel like this reading this week, and I know it's a weekly reading, is more of like a big picture type of message. Let's see what's going on. Virgo, totally different than last week's, but let's see what's in the shadows for you, my friends. What is in the shadows for Virgo? Thank you. And here it is again. We have the Eight of Pentacles showing up in the shadows, okay? So when we have the Eight of Pentacles in the shadows, all the good things that we were speaking about, the Eight of Pentacles in the reading itself, this is the shadow side of that. So this could represent somebody who is a little bit of a workaholic, somebody that is way too focused on their things. It's all about finding a balance in life. But another thing we see with the Eight of Pentacles in the shadows is somebody who's tempted to give up on something, So for some of you in the coming days and weeks, there might be something or someone that you are tempted to just like throw your hands up and give up on. Aside from that, yeah, it's good to stay focused and work towards your goals, but finding a balance in life is very important, right? Like not working 80 hours a week type of stuff. I know some people have to, I'm not judging, but the Eight of Pentacles, that's the message it gives. So Virgo, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet. I'm going to give you the details of the February subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the January subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced after this week's fire and air readings. But for February, I've decided to run it back. Once again, we're doing 2 copies of the most adorable deck in all the land, the Smith Tiny Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments which card from this week's reading you thought was most adorable. You'll be entered to win. And at the end of February, the winners will be in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you next time.